So good morning, everyone. Today's Murli is very interesting. Of course, all Murlis are interesting, but there are two. Baba broke this Murli into two parts. The first part, Baba is obviously this Murli. Baba talks about Deepmala, which is Diwali. The first part of the Murli, Baba spoke about what does Diwali means, what does Deep means, and what does the Mala means. And then the second part of the Murli, Baba is saying how to celebrate it in an alokik way, in a spiritual way. So this is the Murli, 21st of October, 1987. It's the Diwali season. The story of Deepraj, king of Deepaks, and Deeprania, queen of Deepak. So all of us are queen of Deepaks. Today, the master of all the living eternal lamps, the king of lamps, has come to meet his queens of lamps, because all of you are the queens of the confluence age, the ones who have love for the one king of lamps. The speciality of a lamp is the love of the lamp. All of you elevated souls, the queens of lamps, are the ones who have love for the king of lamps, and the Deepak, Deepraja, and the ones who are the true Sitas, constantly remaining in the company of one Rama, Baba, one Rama, the Father. Therefore, together with the Master of Lamps, the King of Lamps, you lamps are also praised in the form of a rosary of lamps, Deepmala. However, they ignite one lamp, the King of Lamps. With one lamp, innumerable lamps begin to glimmer. So the memorial of all of you has been celebrated even until today. So everything starts with one lamp. In the Jewish community also, they have this, I think they call it menorah. They have a special candles, and they have a special stand during Hanukkah, which is like Christmas for them. They light that candle, and they start with the first light. It's the first candle, which is the, in the top. And then using that candle, they light all the other candles. So it's very similar practice in the Jewish community also. So what is the experience in your heart on seeing the rosary of lights? Is there the happiness that this is the memorial of I, the lamp? Baba is asking, do I feel that lights, those lamp represents me? Does that thought come? Or are you simply happy on seeing the sparkle? What happens? Are you happy simply on seeing the sparkle, or are you happy seeing it as your memorial? I don't know how many of you have this practice of lighting the old traditional diya, the matka, and then you put the oil or the ghee, and then you put the thread, and then you light. Nowadays, obviously, people are using tea light candles, but the old traditional style, lighting up the whole house. So Baba is saying, are you happy seeing it as your memorial? Do you see yourself in that? Do you know that you are also a lamp in the rosary of lamps? Have that consciousness. Why is the rosary of lamps shown with lamps? It's very similar even in Christmas. Lighting is a big deal in Christmas. If you look at the Christmas tree, no tree is decorated. No tree is decorated without lights. Light is a must. And every homes for Christmas is definitely decorated with lights. So light is a very big symbol in every religion and every practice. So Baba is asking, this day is not called the day of lamps. Deep Divas, Baba is saying this is not Deep Divas, but it is known as Deep Mala, Rosary of Lamps. Why is that? This is the memorial of the gathering of you special souls. The rosary is decorated when innumerable lamps come together in the form of a gathering, Sangatan. If just one or two lamps were ignited, it would not be called a rosary. So the rosary of lamps is a memorial of innumerable, eternal, ignited lamps, which is a group of souls. So you are celebrating your day. On one hand, you are giving light to the world in the form of living, glimmering lamps. And on the other hand, you are also seeing your memorial. So living, glimmering lamps means sparkling souls. And on the other hand, you are seeing your memorial. So you are pleased to see this, are you not? Why have these been shown in the form of lamps? Because you sparkling souls are visible as the lamps of love. This is why the memorial of the divine light of sparkling soul is shown as the physical light of a lamp. Amen. This is the memorial of the sparkling souls. On one hand, it is a memorial of the incorporeal soul. And on the other hand, it is a memorial of your future corporeal form, the deity form of Lakshmi. So Baba is saying the lamp represents two. One, the soul, and two, Lakshmi. One is our original form and one is our deity form. This rosary of lamps claims a deity status. This is why the memorial of both corporeal and incorporeal forms is together. Deepmala is the memorial in a double form. The memorial of Lakshmi is in a double form. On one hand, it is the goddess of wealth. That is the memorial of the confluence age, the form of the bestower, the one who constantly gives wealth. The image that is shown is in the form of the eternal goddess of wealth of confluence age. So one symbol of Lakshmi is being a bestower. And Baba says that is the role we play in confluence age. There will not be anyone who takes in Satyug. So who would you give to? Therefore, this is the sign of the elevated activity of confluence age. On the other hand, it is also celebrated as the day of the coronation. And so the coronation is the sign of the future. The goddess of wealth And the goddess of wealth is that of the confluence age, the sign of the form of a bestower. So they have mixed up the two ages because confluence age is a very short age. However, it is just as great, Mahan, as it is small, Chota. It's a small age, but it's a mighty age. You have great experiences, carry out a great task, have a great stage, sthiti, and have great attainments during this short age. Because you experience many attainments, and because Satyug comes very quickly after the confluence age, they have mixed up the images and the activities of the golden age with that of confluence age. So the image, this is what Baba is saying, Chitra, the image, and the Charitra, the activity. So Baba is saying the image represents Satyug, but the activity that is given to Lakshmi represents now being a bestower. So Baba says, they have shown the images, chitra, of the golden age together with the activity of confluence age. In this way, Deepmala is the memorial of your double form, a double period. They have also mixed up the different ceremonies of the time of Deepmala. On one hand, they finish old accounts and create a new one. And on the other hand, at the time of Deepmala, they also wear new clothes accurately according to the system. So to settle old accounts and to begin a new account is the memorial of the confluence age. You forget everything old and you have new birth, new relationships, and new actions. New birth means not a physical new birth, it's a spiritual birth. So Baba said, when we come to Baba, we are leaving behind the old identity and we are adopting a spiritual identity. So that's a new birth, new relationships, and new actions. You transform everything except the new clothes. So the new cloth represents the body, right? Which is the new body, the sign of Satyug. That's the only thing that doesn't change in confluence age. Whatever body we have, whatever condition the body we have to serve and bestow in that same body. You don't receive a new body at the confluence. You live in your old costume. So they have mixed up the systems. Golden clothes, that is, Sato Pradhan body, will be adopted in the future. At the moment, you have a body of patches. It's funny how Baba explains about the current body, what the body has to go through for karmic settlements. It is stitched together, is it not? What do they do when they perform an operation? They stitch it together, do they not? When they perform major surgery, they remove skin from one part and use it elsewhere on the body. So that is patching up, is it not? It is not the original skin. The sign of something old is that it is stitched together. Even in the yagya, they were when they were in the earlier days, Baba had so much wealth, so obviously Baba kept the dadis, good clothes. And then during beggary part, I remember that the Janki she used to share, the sari also. Sometimes there is something get torn, so they would patch up and they will stitch. and they would wear that, cotton. So it's like how Baba taught them how to live, you know, as a royally and also in simple way. So here Baba is saying that the sign of something old is that it is stitched together. What do they say? They say they have had stitches. So these are patched clothes, whereas those are golden clothes, new clothes. So there is a memorial of your adopting new clothes. Today's people cannot become deity souls and wear new clothes. That is, have a new golden body, one of gold. This is why they are happy wearing new clothes as a physical memorial. So they have mixed it up, have they not? They celebrate happiness for one day or at the most for 3 days. But for how long do you celebrate? You celebrate for eternity, do you not? I remember talking about new clothes when I go to Madhuban every February. And Dadi, when I went to meet Dadi Gulzar, the first thing she asked, do you have a new sari? And and then I said, I have saris, Dadi, I have enough, I don't need. And then she told Neelu Benno, get one sari. And then she said, wear this for Diwali. Pita ki ghar se sogat hai, it's from your parents' home, your dowry. So that really melted my heart. How, because that's how Baba, the love that Baba trained them to take care of even the little things. And that's how the dadis took care of all of us, even the tiniest things, our needs. So Baba's saying that they celebrate happiness for one day or at the most for 3 days. But for how long do you celebrate? You celebrate for eternity, do you not? You celebrate in such a way that the celebration of the confluence age will enable you to celebrate for innumerable births. The constantly glimmering lamps will remain ignited. Previously, people used to ignite lamps according to the accurate method, the traditional way, lamp with ghee and the thread. And attention was paid so that the lamp remained constantly ignited. It was not extinguished. Because they had to pour oil into it, they would practice the invocation accurately, according to the method. What do they do nowadays? So even Baba knows the current trend. Now they use electric light bulbs instead of Deepaks or tea light candles. And now they even have battery tea light candles. They do not celebrate Deepmala. So now it has become an entertainment, has it not? The method of invocation of spiritual effort has now ended. The love has finished and there is only selfishness. They have the selfish motive to increase their wealth. They don't do it with feeling, but with a desire. Previously, there was feeling first, but that feeling has now changed its form into desire. The Baba is also talking, in terms of in the Bhakti too, how the purity of the devotion has also reduced. So Baba says, the significance has ended and just the custom and system remains. This is why the accurate form of Lakshmi, the bestower, does not come to anyone. If wealth comes, then it is dirty wealth. It is not divine wealth, it is devilish wealth. But all of you invoke your deity status with an accurate method, and you yourself become a deity. The second half of the Murli, Baba is describing every detail. What does it mean to accurately, spiritually celebrate Diwali? You have to celebrate Deepmala, have you not? Bombay has been given a chance. In any case, Bapdada calls Bombay Nar Desavar. Deepavali is a memorial of the goddess of wealth. Okay, what does it mean to celebrate? Will you simply light a candle? Cut a cake? Is this what it means to celebrate? Okay, you may even dance and sing. Is this what is known as celebrating? Baba is asking. These are common practices we have. Then Baba says, but is that all? Right? To constantly dance is the right of Brahmin life. To constantly ignite another light with the light. However, the celebration of the confluence age means to become like Baba. So this is the true way of celebrating what Baba is saying. To become like Baba. Only then will you be able to come close in the rosary. This is also the ceremonial entertainment of the confluence age. The celebration you have is ceremonial entertainment. It means it's just temporary, outwardly. By all means, celebrate. Baba is not stopping us. Celebrate a great deal. However, have ceremonial entertainment whilst celebrating a meeting with Baba. Don't just entertain yourself, but be man above. And then celebrate. Because you are spiritual, are you not? So with an alokik method, the spiritual entertainment becomes an imperishable entertainment. So the way the Laukiks celebrate Diwali is different than the way we celebrate Diwali. All of you have adopted the method of the Deepmala of the confluence age. You have finished the old accounts and have adopted the method for new, that is, spiritual thoughts, actions, and words at every moment. So Baba is saying not to be ordinary even when we are celebrating. There must be spirituality as a natural nature in our thoughts, words, and actions when we celebrate. Baba says, the old account does not remain even slightly, does it? Sometimes you say, when you become weak, what do you say? You don't want it to happen, but it is an old sanskara, old nature, or an old habit, and that gradually it will finish. And we say, Baba, with time it will finish. You say this, do you not? So where did the old account come from? Have you carefully kept it aside? Old account. You haven't tied it in a bundle, have you? If you have tied it in a bundle, then you are a thief. Why Baba saying that I'm a thief? Baba says, have you finished the old account? The old account is Ravan's account. Whereas the new account is that of Brahma Baba and the Brahmins. If the old account remains even slightly, then it belongs to Ravan. So Baba is saying then we are a thief, keeping Ravan's belongings. And so if something belongs to him, he will surely take it by right. This is why Maya and Ravan circle around. If you don't have anything of theirs, Maya and Ravan will not come to you. What do people do if someone is in debt to them for something taken on loan? They will go around to that one again and again. They will not let go. No matter how much you try to avoid it, the one who has a debt will definitely want it settled. If someone has not finished an old sanskara in the old account, that one is still in debt to Ravan. And this debt is called a sickness. Big time. So what does the sickness means? Body sick is different, but if the soul is sick, then that is different. It is said that there is no sickness as a debt. So this is an old debt to Ravan. Old thoughts, sanskaras, nature, old activity. This debt makes the soul weak. So this is the soul being sick. And so the weakness becomes a sickness. It becomes an illness. Therefore, finish this depth in a second with the determined thought that this is old, this is foreign. Finish it with a second's determined thought. Burn it. They light fireworks, do they not? What do they burn in that? They also throw bangers in that. Bangers. It's like it's like a cylinder type for fireworks. You light it up, and then some bangers I see that they circle first, they burn, and then some flies off midair, or some just stays. They circle and circle, and then they burn, and then they die. But it makes a loud sound, loud crackling sound. So Baba says, so what do they burn in that? So they also throw bangers in that. So today, with the matchstick of determined thought, light the fireworks of spiritual bangers, through which all this finishes. And so they are losing while you are earning an income. They lose money when they have fireworks and they have to buy. And you will be earning through having fireworks. Internally, the soul is becoming light and becoming free. So, in that way, Baba is saying we are earning an income. So, you know the game of earning, do you not? Do you know the game of the flying stage? Or do you know how to light fireworks? This is the firework where you light it, it circles with a loud crackling sound, and then it flies off midair. So Baba says, do you know how to light fireworks? Those are fireworks, but you are becoming victorious in the game of the flying stage. Take double benefit, burn it away, and earn. Baba says, burn it away and earn. Adopt this method. So after burning, we earn flying state. So Baba said that is earning. There is success through an accurate method. So this is one method. And the other is that at the time of Deepmala, they clean every corner. They clean all four corners, not just 2 or 3. They clean all four because cleanliness is greatness, or we say cleanliness is godliness. So, what should be cleaned in all four corners in order to invoke the deity status? They clean the physical four corners, but what are the four forms of cleanliness which you heard the other day? So, there was the Milan before, Baba spoke about this. And in fact, in the following paragraphs, Baba defined clearly what are the four areas of purity, cleanliness. Cleanliness means purity. So, cleanliness in all four corners means cleanliness. Purity in all four varieties. You claim the deity status through this method. If there isn't cleanliness even in one variety, then you will not claim the elevated deity status. That is, the desire you have of becoming the highest will not be fulfilled. So, the second method is cleanliness in all four varieties. Have you adopted this method? You heard that to celebrate means to become like Baba. You saw Brahma Baba. He settled his old accounts, did he not? You saw purity of all the four forms in his every action, did you not? So Brahma Baba became the proof. This is why he became the number one worthy child and claimed the number one status. You follow Baba, do you not? Brahma decided within a second. A method is adopted at the time of Deepmala to finish the old account. You settled the account at the time of Deepmala, didn't you? So, closing the old account, starting a new chapter. So Baba is saying, you settled the account at the time of Deepmala, didn't you? You surrendered everything, didn't you? You sacrificed everything that was old. Therefore, you settled the account. What fireworks did you let off with the matchstick of determined thoughts? What sanskaras have we let go by taking a determined thought? Did you play the game of the flying stage, means to free myself? This is why there is the memorial that has continued to this day. You celebrate Diwali as well, don't you? To adopt this method means to celebrate Diwali. So I think we will end here for now. We'll read the second half. Of, I think for you is the 22nd, right? So for us here is the 21st. So Baba, in the following chapters, Baba spoke. Baba gave detailed description of Alokik method of how to celebrate. So Baba, so far, what has touched you from this, Murli? Anyone? Girija Ben, she wrote in the chat. So, Deepavali is not about lighting lamps outside, but about kindling the lamp of purity, knowledge, and peace within the soul. Master of the eternal living lamps. Right. The rosary of the lamps. Right. Anyone else? What has touched you so far?
The point where Baba says, today we are using electric lamps. So there's a lot of material. The reflection here is there's a lot of outside or external or material wellness that we're looking at. While the beauty of lighting lamps, as you also have emphasized on that was using the old style lamps where you have those mittika diyas with oil and a long cotton batti in that's what we call, has a different space. You wash the mitti, those mittika diyas, and then you know some people in India also color it before we put geru on it, is what we say, and then we put oil and then put the batti in it and then light it. So there's so much of efforts, oneness with the whole process to do it. And what touched me was somehow, somewhere we have lost that intimate feelings while we're doing or performing any rituals. And therefore, we see everything just so materialistic and external in nature, and we are missing the internal beauty to look at it. That was one of the reflection which came in while Mapa was talking about where have we reached in lighting lamps. And yes, as Girija was mentioned, it's lighting internal lamp, and I could resonate to this particular point there. Internal lamp gets ignited when you're one with it and not just doing it as a ritual.
Yeah. And for me, I was connecting with the old Yagya days when how Baba trained those dadis, because I remember many sharings from the dadis, how it was back then. And, connecting with Baba's talking the purity of that bhavna, the purity in that bhavna, how it was before, and now how it could have gone very ordinary. Even treating the practices, the discipline Baba has given very ordinary, taking it for granted. And what we are doing for Baba, what we are doing for Yagya, how we are practicing, the depth sometimes has gone diluted. And we take it for granted very casually. And I remember Dadi Gozar, one thing she shared, when she was sharing about Sakar Baba, experience with Sakar Baba. She said that one time she and a few others, Baba sent them to go to some places. And then when they went there, they saw these berries, cherries. So they brought the cherries. They brought cherries, and then they gave, to everyone, and everyone ate it. And then in the night, Baba came and asked them. Baba came and, asked the sisters to say, Bachi, did you bring something? You've gone out, did you get something? And then they said, yes, Baba, we got the cherries. Then she said, chalo batao, dikhao Baba ko, show Baba. They said, oh Baba, सबको दे दिया, सबने खा लिया. And then Baba says, Bachi, it is a respect that when whatever you bring, you should show the parent first. You should show Baba first. And then let Baba feed everyone. Then सबकी बुद्धि में ये रहे कि बाबा ने खिलाया. That Baba fed them. If you give, they will only remember you. And then that is that utmost bhavna. And then Baba also says, anyone who gives to Yagya, to Baba, in what quality, in what mindset are they giving? If they give used, or because they are not using, so they give to Baba, even to the time where we have seen people give even old notes, old currency notes to Baba. They put in Baba's box. And then when we go to the bank says, sorry, this is old notes. We don't accept anymore. You see how the buddhi, whatever that is old or not used, what I am giving to Baba, Baba's going to give me the return. If I am giving the best of the best to Baba, Baba will give me the best of the best to me. And that is why Baba says, in order to inherit from Baba first, I need to make Baba my waris first. Then Baba will make me his waris, his heir. I need to surrender to Baba first. Then Baba will surrender himself to me. So everything and anything, Baba. And this is, very symbolic how Baba, of course, gave the idea. Okay, I think that message was for someone. So Baba was saying that anything we give and we do with utmost sincerity for Baba and for Yajna, Baba will give accordingly also. Not compromising, not playing shortcuts. And here that's why, Baba is saying bestower. With what sense am I bestowing? Am I bestowing genuinely? Or am I bestowing with a slight desire to be known, to feel valued? This is also very important. Everything is all about the subtle genuinity in yajna, everything that we do. And then Baba also spoke about, finishing the old account. Of course, in the second part, Baba is going to explain it much more. But the first part that we read, we ended with that paragraph. Baba spoke about the bangers. Baba spoke about finishing the old account. So old accounts, it really refers to Baba saying old way of thinking, impression, the seed, the habits, the sanskaras. So that Baba is telling how to finish it through determined thought. I think, Bijit Bhai, do you have something to share?
Yeah, Sister Om Shanti. Yeah. So I just thought of adding that spiritual fireworks that Baba mentioned about when,
Right.
mentioning about the old sanskaras burning, right? So the matchstick of determination. And Baba also highlighted on the, our earning spiritual income while um, the world loses the material wealth, right? When they light the fireworks, right? They are losing, but here we are earning an income. So that really wonderful point. And so I think it is the old habits or the sanskaras that which we need to check, right? That is there anything still that I carry something that which belong to Ravan, right? Um, so I think a habit is something that will be which we carry for a long time, no, sister?
Yeah.
So so the way I have to think of how I can replace it with a new habit, right? Rather than thinking of stopping all of a sudden and then working on that new habit will eventually help me to come out of that, I suppose, right? So
Yes.
I think most of us would have problem with the old sanskars. So yeah, so if you can throw more lights on how
Acha.
one can really, come out of some of their old habits. Some would be carrying that sort of a sanskars from childhood also, right? So which
Yeah.
means that would have become a deep-rooted sanskar. So yeah, please, over to you.
I will share my experience on that because, the last Milan, the 15th December Murli, had been, a few days, I was just deeply churning about that Murli. And what really touched me, the two questions, Baba, two prominent questions, very, very, very deep checking point Baba asked in that Murli. Baba asked, the first question was Baba asked, are my thoughts, words, and actions are based on experience, or is it just based on understanding? Baba asked that. That was one of the first questions that Baba asked. So, am I acting out of just understanding Gyan, or am I acting out of an experience? So, if I've just understood Gyan but I had not practiced, it is very hard to continue that practice. We can easily be manipulated by others. We can easily be, we can start believing people's ideas. But if I really experienced it, then I know this works. And the second question Baba asked was, what is your natural nature? The soul has its own natural nature, but presently, what feels so natural for me? Does anger feels natural for me? Does irritation feels natural for me? Does patience feels natural to me? And then Baba said, only when you become an embodiment of awareness, Smriti, then you can be powerful. So it made me kept on thinking. I was talking to Baba, what does it mean if I'm aware I'll be powerful? What do you mean by that? And I'll just honestly share with you one area that I had been very consciously been working in my life had been that now, I'm having this nature where I'm always fast, whether when I'm talking or whether I'm doing things, I'm always planning ahead of time, being prepared and being ready. But I felt this was right thing to do, but I didn't realize people around me were feeling overwhelmed. They were feeling I'm going too fast and they're not able to catch up. And they keep telling that, slow down, don't think too much, just be in the moment, just enjoy. You are thinking too much. So people now kept saying that I'm thinking too much. And then why that hurt me? I was just looking and thinking by why is this why are these words hurting me? And then when I sat back and I sat with Baba and I went back into my childhood days. And in my childhood, I remember my mom and teachers and all, they used to always tell me, you're very slow. You're very slow. You're eating slow. You're walking slow. You need to catch up. You need to be fast. So I felt very hurt back then when people kept saying, I'm very slow. I'm very slow. So somewhere in my life, I guess I just worked on myself saying, I need to prove to people. I need to prove that I'm not slow. So I guess I worked and now I guess I became too fast that people around me are not able to handle. So then I'm realizing why it hurts me now. It is not again what they have said, but it is how I have deceived me. It is what I have told myself. Okay, if I am prepared, if I am, fast, if I am in all round, that means, it's very good. Then it is safe and people will validate me. But then I realize it's my own thinking saying if I'm slow means I'm weak. If I'm fast means I'm strong. So then I realized what Baba meant. Only when I become aware, I can be powerful. So that means my entire life, what I told myself was actually a lie, meaning what I made myself to believe. Then I realized I am not facing their demon, I'm facing my own demon. I am actually facing what I told myself to believe. And now the very thing is hurting me. I said, okay, Baba, I get it now. It's not them. Even when I was a kid, it was not them. Now, as I'm old, also it's not them. It's me. How I programmed myself to believe. How I told myself I need to act. So now, consciously, every day, I am keeping a balance, or at least I'm trying to keep a balance. When to be fast, when to be in the moment. It's a constant practice that I am doing. When to be prepared ahead of time and when to be okay. Go with the flow, be in the moment. It's a conscious practice now. And I realize this practice that I'm taking consciously is allowing me, when Baba says powerful, for me, what I felt, there is more stability. Internally, there is more stability. There is more, less fluctuation. So I felt like, okay, Baba, I understand now. So, when we talk about different sanskaras that's in us, we'll have to first be aware, where is the seed coming from? See, if you can look back and feel where is the seed coming from, and how you have told yourself, how you have programmed your mind to think, and what to think and what to do. And then now, as you grow up, following your own programming, how is it working for you? Does it hurt you? Or does it make you feel good? Or does it still feel guilty for you? So that, that's what real, when Bob is talking, for me personally, this is my churning, my experience. I'm sure it could be different experiences for all of you, is try to be aware what seed you are holding and then work on it. Anger is such a big subject, but what seed is in you that have programmed you in that way to get angry? Does that answer
Shanti
you?
Vinoben.
Yeah.
Shanti
Yes.
Vinoben. I know there's no
Yeah.
time to share, but just 1 minute. I've already given my sharing in the chat box. For me, Diwali is something different. See, I don't know, because being from the south or something, Baba always takes Diwali as a rosary of lights. But we all know the Diwali which we celebrate here now in Confluence Age is not celebrated in Satyug as per Baba's knowledge. It's only on the coronation day when it's called, when Lakshmi and Narayan get coronated, is Diwali celebrated. For me, Diwali, it's all these memorials from Copper Age. We call in South sometime, in North it's celebrated in 5 days. And it's each has got beautiful significance starting from Dhanteras till Bhai Bhuj. It's a very beautiful celebration. In South, what I liked was the Stalai Diwali. You know what? When the bride, when in newlyweds, when the bride goes and celebrates, see, this year the bridegroom goes to the bride's house, and there, that's the first Diwali which is celebrated. So I used to think, when I leave my mother's house and I go to my God's house, Shiv Baba's house, that Diwali which I celebrate, I take it as Talai Diwali. If that, because that's the marriage between me and God. That festival, see how we interpret over here. But more than that, I can never take Diwali to be a rosary of lights, because we don't light many lights outside. I used to think, why? Because crackers are burnt and all outside with so many real burning lights, there could be a fire. So I always loved this festival of Kartigai, where I find which is beautiful rosary of lights. Everywhere you'll find that earthen lamps with what you said as the tiri and the oil, and it's got a beautiful significance, especially when it is lit in the Tiruvannamalai Deepam, and that also has got such a nice memorial. So for me, Kartigai also, and I used to think, why Baba doesn't mention Kartigai in the Murlis. That's the rosary that you can see lights everywhere, the real earthen lamps coming out. I don't know. This is my vision of Diwali from Dwapar Yug, Confluence Age to Golden Age. Om Shanti.
So you can take this Murli as Kartikeya for you. And you can take it as Papa's talking about Kartikeya for you. So definitely the significance of light is very beautiful. And again, it is lighting up our awareness, lighting up, that's what Baba spoke about, determine. When I know what seed is in me, then I can take the determination to work on it. So, okay, Vijit Bhai.
Yeah, sister, thank you so much. So that was really, making a lot of sense what you said about understanding and also the experience. There is a difference, understanding and going. So probably understanding comes from the head. Experience will give us more space, right? Because experience has more authority than understanding things, right? And also, like you rightly brought out, the realization is another important
Yeah.
factor.
Brother, one moment. Somebody's ringing the doorbell. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, sister, and the conscious practice that you mentioned about overcome that is really powerful. So when we consciously do that, really there'll be a progress because meditation itself is meant to some extent there, where we consciously create, positive thoughts, right? And the fundamentals of meditation is that feels a lot of energy into us, which will definitely boost us to get there, overcoming our bads and scars eventually. So thank you so much for clarifying that, giving more lights there. Yes. So before we move on to meditation, sister, a quick announcement about tomorrow's session. So tomorrow it's a buffer day, Sunday. So um, we have a Murli Manthan session tomorrow on the Murli dated 17th October 1987. The title of the Murli is The Decoration of Brahmin Life is Purity. So request everyone to attend the session and take the complete benefit of the session. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, sister, for a short meditation.
So the second half of this Murli, I think as per the US time, will be on the 21st, which is Sunday for us. Yeah, that's again 3:30. I think for you is Monday. Monday for you is 5 a.m. So we'll continue the second half and see what Baba is explaining us further about the Alokik methods, spiritual methods of celebrating. The four varieties that Baba mentioned in the last paragraph. Baba's explaining it in the following paragraph, which we'll cover in the next class. So let us take a moment. Let's remember Baba. And just for a few moments, recollect back what we heard from today's Murli. And let me ask myself, what do I want to practice today? The one point that I am going to keep so close to my heart. And I'm going to practice and write a journal and give Baba the result. I will give Baba 1 point. Take a moment to reflect. And so let me take the determined thought today, at this moment, to consciously practice the point that I've taken and inform Baba. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Venoben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a beautiful day.